Had a couple of conversations for the last couple of days, and it all kind of surrounded this idea of negotiating around a situation that's generally unknown. Had a couple conversations about salary negotiations, and it reminded me of some past conversations about relationships in more the dating realm. And it kind of all goes back to this guerrilla seminar that Dr. Gene Shirokawa and myself through UpDoc that we gave at the Combined Sections meeting, the national conference in Anaheim 2 years back. And we were defining business, like what's business, and what does that really kind of break down to? And we come from parallel views, two sides of a different coin, and the way two sides of the same coin. And the way I like to process business is, business to me is behaviors. Business is behaviors that are guided by the rules of numbers and relationships driven by value. A value proposition, something that you want that I have, or something that you have that I want, or something that we both want together or both don't want to see, or something of that nature. So how do you navigate that? How do you navigate that unknown? Whether it's a job situation where you're trying to interview and negotiate, if you're getting into school, or you're trying to get an internship, or you're trying to, make your way into a more serious relationship. All these things have to do with negotiating an unknown circumstance, which typically there's more that you know than you think you know, and a lot of it has to do with knowing yourself. Many times when it comes to navigating the unknown, we tend to fall back and focus on the facts that we don't know. Like, I don't know how much this company's going to offer me, and I don't know what I should counter offer to land that offer and not get to a point where I'm going to piss them off and may or may not push them away. Same with like a dating relationship. It's a transparent conversation. That is what you need. To navigate the unknown, you simply need to shed light on the situation. And you have to shed light on a situation in a respectful, calm, very open, unhindered way. And whether it's a dating relationship, a negotiations relationship, a business-to-business relationship, it's all about information, because information is there. Information is stuff that you have, stuff that I have, the knowledge that I have that might complete your knowledge set, and vice versa. And so it's actually very key. It's very key in a navigating or negotiating circumstance where things are unknown to elucidate these variables so that you can work with mutually beneficial pieces of information. There's not many secrets left in the world, especially in the employment spheres. It's kind of out there. Medicare's published everything. This is how much you get reimbursed, period. In private insurances, they're trying to keep secrets, but basically they follow the same rules. And so if you're in an outpatient situation specific to physical therapy, you can very plainly ask your clinic director, so what's my productivity standards, what I'm expected to do, and do you mind talking a little bit, perhaps vulnerably or transparently, about what our average revenue per patient is, and what cut I can get of that, and how I can make more of a cut to add more value to this clinic. Now all of a sudden, it's not a conversation about I'm trying to get more while you're trying to give less. It's how can we get more together. The same goes for a dating relationship, whereas you're trying to inspect the situation. You don't want to come across as too forward, but you can very openly and organically have that conversation and say, hey, look, there's more here that I see, and I just want to know if you see that potential too. And perhaps we can have a discussion about how we can see it through and how we can pave that future together. And if it works out, great. If it doesn't, then no terribly hard feelings. It just didn't happen. Same with the job or interview negotiation situation is, I'd like to counter with this because this is where the market is. I believe I bring these value sets because of A, B, C, and D, as well as these objective measures I've already sent and showed you through my resume. And if I did my math correctly, I'm going to be adding an extra $40,000 to $50,000 a year gross revenue to this business unit. And I think it would be a great statement in our workplace culture for our team for that value added result to be rewarded. And it's just an open conversation. Similarly, if you are going to be negotiating a B2B, a B2E, if you're negotiating with, let's say, an insurance carrier, this is where value-based pay is very, very important, is you need to be able to show, hey, look, your customers, all your beneficiaries are severely happy, are very, very healthy, and my utilization ratios are below national averages. I am saving you money. I'm saving your beneficiaries money. I'm keeping everybody happy for you on this side of the supply chain. So what can we do to mutually continue to benefit from the situation in a way that keeps up with the times and is a little bit more future-proof than just renegotiating and playing this dance game? It's all about communication. Again, business is behaviors of people, behaviors that are guided by the rules of relationships and numbers, that are sensible and that are reasonable, and they have everything to do with those things being driven by value statements, proven and unproven. Because there's always going to be things that are unproven. I think marketing is the ultimate world of unproven value until it is. Now, you don't know how good a Facebook campaign is going to go until you do it, until you spend some money on it. And then you have to refine, you have to refine the results, refine the brand voice that you're trying to push out. You have to retarget, you have to do all these different technical things until you rinse, wash, and relearn, and then re-release it to see how you've done. And it's a bit of practice. It's a bit of practice of thinking on your feet. It's a bit of practice of being comfortable being uncomfortable. I don't think I was comfortable with any kind of negotiations until I reached my 6-figure ceiling. And after that, every conversation was comfortable. I would very confidently, but very respectfully, go to these managers, and I would hand them a piece of paper and be like, this is respectfully, this is what I've been making for the last X amount of months at the last X amount of jobs, and they've seen that value in me because of X, Y, and Z. And I'd like to be able to come to a situation here and join your team in a way where this would be able to be matched, or some type of arrangement that's equitable and mutually beneficial could be worked out. I've had bosses say, I can't afford this because I'm not paying the senior clinicians that much, and that's fine. That's their company rules and culture. That's fine. I moved on, they moved on, we're still friends. I've had other places go, you got it, no problem. How about we favor your hours and we knock off $1 an hour? That's fine, because it's going to save me probably a couple hours a month driving. So there you go. So those are my tips in terms of how to negotiate and navigate unknown situations. It almost sounds too simple after the talk is you just make some light to it. But the only way you can shed light to a situation between two entities is if you both shine the light on the same spot together. That is where communication skills, all those soft skills, are so very important in a way where you're comfortable being uncomfortable, because being transparent means you're vulnerable. But it doesn't mean that you're exposing yourself to danger. What it means is you do you, you're confident in you, because the other entity is having the same problems. The other entity is probably just as unsure. And that is an appreciation point. If you can communicate that subtly, that you can appreciate the same struggle of being unknown, then you're going to have that much more of a deeper and more meaningful relationship and connection with them in a way that will convince them of your position.